person who's purely on meat diet or non-vegetarian diet, 18 times more is his stress on the land versus a person who's on plant-based diet. Leeds did a study which says that if a community switches to plant-based food diet, then within 10 years, 60% of the urban emissions come down. The agricultural land used in 1900s versus now, it's doubled because of the eating habits of switching to non-vegetarian food.
We have next with us Dr. Lata Ghanshamnani. She is a practicing eye surgeon in Thane. So she shall be speaking today on harmony on plate, health for you and the planet.
A very good morning to one and all. I'm very delighted to have been invited here to speak in this awesome YVCare conference, because this is my first time here as a person who has switched to plant-based diet also, and I'm so glad that such events are being held by doctor community. So the topic is harmony on plate, right? So what is the significance? The word harmony means a balance. Balance or a harmony is so much crucial for the existence of anybody. I think to elaborate that, let me speak about harmony in human health. So all our systems, central nervous system, gastrointestinal, circulatory, cardiovascular, all of them have to work in balance or sync or in harmony for our existence in a happy space. Meaning, if one of them also goes haywire, you will land up with illness or disease. Same kind of harmony needs to exist in a family. So be the grandparents, parents, everybody who's part of the family has to do certain set of responsibilities, duties to maintain the family in one happiness balance. Extend it to your community. Even the citizens, the bureaucrats, the government, all need to do their bit to keep the community sustainable in a harmony. Extend it to the countries. So you see war we are having. So within the globe itself, the countries also should live harmoniously to have a happy life. Where I'm trying to drive this point is, how much are we educated all the time, from the time we are born, to maintain this balance in our health, in our life, in our community. But little is an education given to us about how important it is for us to have this harmony in what we eat, or how we preserve our environment. We don't speak about environment as a community or as a family. We are not educated enough on what sort of respect or what sort of duties and moral activities we should do so as to preserve the harmony of the planet. And this I can say from personal experience of being in medical school, and I believe all of you all are coming from medical backgrounds, that when we are educated as doctors, we are taught everything, but very little, or rather negligible to my knowledge, about nutrition. Right? Everybody is nodding their heads and we know all of that. But yes, we do curate a diet when the patient comes with the illness. Not as a preventive, but when they land up with CKD or diabetes or any other illness, we chalk out a beautiful diet plan for their plates, which will be highest protein source, lowest low glycemic food or low sodium food. We draw up those kinds of dietary items. But when we are picking those, we pick those items in the food which speak about highest protein, but not the best protein which can be acquired from the planet. We talk about proteins from animal sources, but we don't see, or we don't give them the even a link that you can have this protein source even from the plant in the equal manner, because that was the duty or balance which we need to get to them. Because when we speak to them that a protein source can also come from plant, not necessarily from an animal source, I think it speaks volumes about our education to impart that education to your patient. So those options we don't know ourselves. So how are we going to do that, right? So somewhere we are faulting in the education which we have got, but time that we need to understand we are eating away our planet, and that is no longer what we can afford to. When I say eating, literally it is either for your 1/3 of your tongue, or for the look of the food, or for the peer pressure of your religious beliefs, or for what you're getting monetarily. So nowhere is environment or the planet in your mind or priority also when you're choosing food items on your plate. So civilization is in crisis. We can no longer feed our population a healthy diet, mind you, not just any food, a healthy diet while balancing the planetary resources. So food in this Anthropocene represents one of the greatest health and environmental challenges of the 21st century. So Anthropocene era is those ecological eras which have been divided, wherein human activity is causing disturbance to the planet. So Lancet, if you see the name here, many of us know about Lancet. It's a peer-reviewed journal which has got authenticity, and we do quote so many places about Lancet. Now, Lancet in the year January 2019, 37 renowned scientists and doctors from 16 countries got together to form the Eat Lancet Commission on Food, Planet and Health to address only one question. Can we feed a future population of 10 billion people a healthy diet which is within the planetary boundaries? So they try to look up, can we do this? And the answer was a yes. Yes, we can. But how? Only by 3 ways. 1, transform your eating habits. Improve food production. And 3, reduce food waste. So a great food transformation is need of the hour to bring about those resources for those future 10 billion people who have to survive on this planet. And Leeds did a study which says that if a community switches to plant-based food diet, then within 10 years, 60% of the urban emissions come down. That is the volume of things can change just by people switching to a plant-based diet. So yes, food can fix it. So I would like to break this Lancet Commission in 2 slides to explain how do changing the food habit or changing the way we produce our food and how we reducing the food waste can affect. So honestly, Earth systems, we have 6 Earth systems: the climate change, land system change, fresh water use, the nitrogen and the phosphorus cycle, and the biodiversity loss. These are the Earth systems which have to be protected, and the parameters by which we assume or we make a determination whether they are affected or not are: for the climate change, the greenhouse gas emission. For the land, it is cropland use. For fresh water, it is water use. The other 2 is nitrogen phosphorus application. And the last is biodiversity loss is connected to your extinction rate. So these are the parameters. If those are not well, then these systems get affected. So the action: 3, diet, plant-based diet, waste, the processing. During the processing the food, there is wastage happening. Post-consumption, there is wastage happening. Both need to come down, and the production, the way we do agriculture, the yields should be more scientific, or rather the soil protective. And then if you take these 3 actions through these parameters, you will be able to see that you can manage the earth systems. We need to understand that this non-vegetarian food cultivates an animal food industry or agriculture that causes a stress and pollution on our natural resources. So our natural resources of air, water, land are stressed or polluted because this activity affects. So these animals need to be they have to exist, they have to be on the land for us to feed them and then consume them or take things from them. So physically they are on land, they're going to eat, drink, they're going to pee, poop, and they're going to burp and fart. All of this is, like I said, affects first is the land. So they're going to occupy space. If you see, to get 1 kilo of beef, what is the 30 square meters of area is needed to procure 1 kilo of beef, but versus the plant food is negligible. So the agricultural land used in 1900s versus now, it's doubled because of the eating habits of switching to non-vegetarian food. A person who's purely on meat diet or non-vegetarian diet, 18 times more is his stress on the land versus a person who's on plant-based diet. The land usage in 1800s If you see those patches which were grass green, now they have all converted to pasture lands for feeding these animals. So land is definitely stressed. The second is air. So the greenhouse emission gases, because of the animal industry, is contributing more than what you are thinking by your car travel or your air travel. This industry is contributing to the most of the greenhouse gases. If I have to procure 1 calorie of food, animal protein, I consume 11 times of the fossil fuel compared to a plant. So this is the type of choices which we are making, which are causing air pollution. So the air pollution, as of now, all of us are aware, Bombay is actually choking, be it for the construction reasons or anything, but there is contribution from every end for this. And chronic asthma, respiratory irritation, I think all the physicians here do agree that perpetually there is a viral fever, people are having respiratory illnesses, and we are 365 days of the year, the illnesses are not going. The next resource which we'll talk about is water. And the next war which will happen, people say, is because of water. So fresh water is so precious that how can we, agree to using this? 55% more is consumed when you do animal agriculture versus when you are doing plant agriculture. Your water footprint because of your food is maximum rather than your domestic usage of food, footprints of water. So simple, if you skip a burger, you save 100 liters of water versus flushing water from your commode or taking shower for 2 months. If that is the amount of time, 2 months you'll have to not take a shower to save 2,000 versus just skipping 1 burger. That's the amount of stress that is caused in the water body. So when they're going to pee and poo, the waste is going to go somewhere. So 40,000 kgs per second is the amount of waste generated by these animals which we are breeding for us, our own food plate. And they are going to be dumped in water. So there is going to be pollution of the water. There's going to be stress on the water. So natural resources are going to be affected by overconsumption and pollution. And that's how it is affecting our planet. So all in all, the impact of animal agriculture is not good for us. Besides that, as doctors, we know that there is no denial that there is an existence of zoonotic diseases happening because of this industry. Take it from AIDS to the current last one which we went through was COVID. All of these pandemics have happened due to the close link of the animal agriculture which is happening because these animals are bred together in close counters. They are raised in filthy conditions. They're given pumped with antibiotics of all kinds which we are using for our own managements, and hence antibiotic drug resistance. The next global threat for mankind in terms of diseases is not CVS or not any other thing, cancer, but antibiotic drug resistance. And I think everybody agrees here that it is because of the abuse in various ways that we are landing up with this situation. So honestly, this is what you are going to choose for your plate? Is this what our education talks about? I mean, is this in any way sensible way of behaving in making your food choices? I'm not nobody to pinpoint the religious belief, but common sense has to prevail. So if a single person switches totally to every day a plant-based diet, he will not only save an animal, 20 kgs of grain, 90 kgs of carbon emissions, 30 square feet of forest, 4,000 liters of water, and add 35 hours of his own life. So this is what will happen if just we switch to a plant-based diet. So to sum it up, let's have a harmony on our plate. Let's make informed choices, balance our food, balance our health goals, values and ethical beliefs. Because as our Father of Nations says, happiness is when what you think, what you say and what you do are all in harmony. Let's not eat the planet, let's eat for the planet. Thank you.